Hi, I'm Claire from Life Skills with Mrs. T, and I'm trying something different today. As you've seen, I've been posting recipes for the last few weeks on my page, and I thought I would actually try a cooking demonstration. So welcome to my kitchen. Most of you won't have seen my kitchen, most of you see my sewing room. Unless of course you've come on a sewing class, then we do have the sewing classes around the kitchen table. So it's a chilled out, friendly, informal and fun sewing lesson. But today is all about the cooking. So I don't know about you, but I've been really struggling to cook during lockdown, or to think about things to cook. I think it's not so easy to pop to the shop. So I live in a rural village in Devon. I have to drive for about 10 minutes to get to my supermarket. So we've been going once a week. Me or my husband will pop over once a week. So we've kind of had to think a little bit more about what we're going to eat. And I have been finding, I think, because I'm not out doing face-to-face training, I'm at my computer a lot, and that does make me quite tired. So by the end of the day, I'm always like, oh, what on earth am I going to cook? Have to think of new ideas. But this is one recipe I absolutely love doing. It's quick, it's easy, it's nutritious, it's filling. I'm someone who loves batch cooking, so I will make big batches of food to put in the freezer, and this is perfect for it. So it's a bean chilli. Now beans are great because they're high in fibre, low in fat and high in protein. You can get them reasonably cheap as well in order to do a meal, and you know, you can make this as spicy or as non-spicy as you like. My husband doesn't like spice, so I tend to make this quite mild, but you can play around as you wish. So I've already got the onions and garlic cooking. So I've taken 2 small onions, finely chopped them, and I've put them in a pan with some olive oil. I'm just letting that sweat down. I like to wait until the onions are golden and have cooked through before I add the garlic, and I've added 3 cloves of chopped garlic. Again, it's up to you how much you decide to put in. Some people like garlic, some people don't, and so I've put 3 cloves into this. Now I'm using a mixed bean salad in water, and that's got beans, red pepper, green beans and sweet corn, because that happened to be the supermarket we were shopping at this week, that they happened to be there. But most supermarkets do a type of mixed bean. You could get it in water, it might come in chilli sauce. If it comes in chilli sauce, it kind of saves you half the battle because you don't need a tin of tomatoes. But I mean, cooking from scratch is always, you know, finding all the ingredients is always fun. But if you want something really simple, you can grab a mixed bean can with some chilli sauce. So I've got 2 of those cans. Now this tends to feed about 6. But like I say, I tend to put a lot into the freezer. It's really good for especially the days where I'm tired and I don't really fancy cooking. It's really good to get out of the freezer. I've got a can of red kidney beans, and I've got a can of chopped tomatoes. Like I say, the onions and garlic are currently sweating, so I'm going to pop some chilli powder in. Now again, it's up to you how much you put in. I don't put very much in, about half a teaspoon. This is quite a strong chilli powder. And my husband tends to complain if I make it too spicy, so I'm just going to add that in. And I'm going to put a bit of cumin as well. Again, dependent on taste, about a teaspoon is usually sufficient. So I'm just going to let that cook for a second. Let the spices, I like the smell of chilli and cumin, it's delicious. So I've already drained my beans. So I've washed them, drained them and washed them through. I've got all my beans. I'm going to pop them into the pan as well. Oh, that's a good sound. Bit of sizzling. Just going to mix that around. And then next I'm just going to grab my can of chopped tomatoes. Open that up. I'm going to add that in as well. And then what I tend to do is just pop some water into the tin, and then, so I've got about a tin's worth of water here, so I've just popped some water into this tin. I'm just going to pop that in as well, and mix that around. And that's pretty much it for now. I have got some chopped coriander, which I put in kind of towards the end. I love coriander, so I tend to put in quite a bit. And I also, a secret that I tend to put in dark chocolate. Again, you don't have to put in coriander, you don't have to put in the chocolate. I tend to go for green and black dark 85% chocolate, and I put that in about 5 minutes before the end. Again, it's up to you. If you do this, it's an added expense granted and finding it, but I find it just brings a bit of depth to the flavour. And that's it, that's all you have to do for now. So pop the lid on. Turn the heat up. So I was cooking the onions and garlic on a low heat there, so I've just turned the heat up. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and once it starts boiling, I'll reduce the heat back down. I'll leave it on a simmer. I usually find about 30 minutes is a good time to allow it to cook. The longer you let it cook, the more the flavours develop. You just got to keep an eye on it catching at the bottom, or if you find after 30 minutes well, it's still quite runny, you might just want to leave the lid off and just allow it to boil down that bit more. So it could take about 45 minutes to an hour. It just depends how long you've got to allow it to cook. So I'm just going to pop that there, let that boil, let that cook for half an hour, and I will show you the finished product. So that's it done. It's been simmering away for about 45 minutes. I got distracted with chores, but as you can see, nice thick bean chilli. So I've just served it here with some brown rice and lots of coriander, but you can have it with whatever you like. You could have sweet potato, jacket potato, add some tortilla chips. You could go the full Tex-Mex and have some sour cream and guacamole. It's up to you how you eat this, but if you just want a quick and simple meal that you can get on the table and feed everybody, then I've just got rice and lots of coriander on top. So enjoy, and do share what you've been cooking on our Facebook page, Life Skills with Mrs. T. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.